All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's HoopTalk, the podcast, and we are back with another episode. This is season 2. We appreciate y'all for the love, for tuning in, whether you tuned in the day it came out, whether you tuned in a week later, man. Just let us know in the comment section that you tuned in. Hit that subscribe button if you're new to the channel. Make sure you share with all your friends and family, and let's go ahead and start potting. First topic on the table. Pluto, you never get to choose the first topic. Tell us, what's the first thing we're going to talk about?
Mid-season awards. Let's just get it out the way.
This is why we don't let Pluto go first. That was supposed to be our last thing.
I like this.
No,
I like this.
I'm kidding. No, I'm just
The
kidding.
earlier we get this through, the better. This is going to take the longest.
No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, that's fine. All right, let's talk about it. Are we going to start from like the bottom up, least important to most important award?
No, listen. Everyone, okay, Pluto, give me a number 1 to 10. Nas, you as well.
7.
I'm going to go with 4.
Wait, why are we both giving a number?
All right, so we're going to do 6 man of the year because we're talking about numbers and I want to trick you guys.
Oh my god.
What do you guys have as your 6 man of the year?
Oh my gosh. 6 man of the year. My choice would have been DeAndre Hunter, but now that he's going to be a certified starter. He did come off the bench though last game. He started his first
I expect
two.
him to still...
He started his first 2 games.
He's not going to play enough games. He's not going to play enough games to not qualify. Don't you have to play 25?
Oh, but I wouldn't pick him if he started for the rest of the season. I would not do that. But they have like 40 games left. But either way, that's semantics. Either way, he started his first 2 games, played relatively okay, nothing crazy. And then he came off the bench. The most recent game it had 18. So they might try to keep him with the role that he had before. So that being said, then I think I would take a gamble and say DeAndre Hunter would be my lock for 6th man of the year. With Pritchard being a close second, but I haven't heard much about him in a while, so I think maybe he slowed down or something. But DeAndre Hunter, that's my pick.
He's Peyton Pritchard, when I checked, still number 1 on the list. But wait, let me ask you a question real quick before you give yours, Pluto.
Yeah.
There's 28 games left in the season for Cleveland. That potentially would keep him under the threshold.
Yeah. Okay, so what's the question?
So there's a chance. I don't know why I said question. I just
Right? Like what the hell?
I'm over here like.
So there's a chance. There's a chance that he can still win it because remember, Lou Will won 6 man of the year playing 20 games starting.
Yeah.
20 games is good though. That's fine.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. He could hit 20.
It just depends who they're going to start at small forward. I don't really know Cleveland's roster all the way through and thin their wings.
Isaac Okoro is the only other person, really.
I mean, I guess he can come off the bench and he definitely can come off the bench and give the bench some more offense. But that's why I'm going with Peyton Pritchard as my 6th man. I just think he really when Boston's in their little slumps and stuff like that. Sometimes he comes off that bench and adds a extra punch on offense. He's kind of got that TJ McConnell effect. He kind of he just a spark of offense. So I really do like Peyton Pritchard as my 6th man of the mid.
That's not a bad man of the mid. I mean, that's the Vegas favorite right now.
Yep.
So I really wanted to give you guys a hot take, but he's been starting more games, unfortunately, so I can't say him. I was going to say Amen Thompson. Because I do believe that right now, he's trajectory-wise, he is playing the best out of everyone on the list. Obviously,
it's not terrible, but
more games.
It wasn't the whole season that he's played at this level, so that's the only reason I wouldn't really consider him.
Yeah, I think both these guys have been.
But revisionist history is what matters. I don't remember most recently, but he has been starting, like I said. So my pick is Peyton Pritchard. Peyton Pritchard or DeAndre Hunter. I don't think you can go wrong with either one.
Yeah, either or. It's deserving for sure. Deserving.
I think that's good. What about most improved? Who do you guys have currently deserving?
I'll let you go first, Tyler. Yeah, go first, Tyler.
The last couple of weeks we talked about it, and I kept saying Tyler Hero, and then as soon as he was elected for the All-Star game, he's been playing like ass, like certified just fucking dookie. So I'm gonna have to change my pick now then go Cade Cunningham.
I've been trying to tell you.
I don't
That's
agree
also my
with
pick.
it.
That was my pick from before, and it is my pick right now. I think Cade Cunningham statistically has proven that he is the most improved player in the NBA, but just intangibles are there as well. I think things that you cannot track, things that you cannot put on a stat sheet are also there. His growth as a player, to me, is phenomenal. Being able to have veterans around him. Nobody that's phenomenal, you know what I mean? Tim Hardaway Jr., average player. Tobias Harris, average player. Malik Beasley, average player. But
Tobias
just
Harris
veterans.
is below average. Below average.
Well, debatable, but it's fine. Regardless, guys who are going to come show up to work consistently, put in the work that's required, listen to the coach, not talk back, being able to feed off of that and really be a leader and do what he has been doing this season. Shout out to the coach, shout out to the veterans, but without Cade Cunningham playing the way that he does, the Pistons would be just as bad as they were last year. And it is phenomenal that they've made such a gigantic turnaround. Despite only being 2 or 3 games over 500, they had the worst losing streak in NBA history less than 12 months ago. You know what I mean? So, to turn around into this, that is an accomplishment. So I got Cade Cunningham as well.
After Pluto goes, I have a question for you guys.
All right. I am gonna go with. This one's kind of hard for me because I just feel like Tyler Hero was one of them for me for sure. I feel like he really grew into his role. But I'm gonna have to go with. Oh man, I was still gonna get pissed. Then I'm gonna go with Victor Wembanyama. I know that sounds crazy. He rolled his eyes.
No,
I think he's got.
Pluto, you have to understand really quick. They do not give most improved to second-year players.
Really?
They shouldn't.
I didn't know that.
They shouldn't.
They shouldn't? Okay. All right.
Second-year players have won the award in the past, but it's very uncommon.
Okay.
No second-year player has ever won most improved.
I'm going to look it up because I just saw it. But keep going. I didn't mean to stop.
No, that's fine. I was going to go with Victor only because he's stepped it up, and that Spurs team is damn near a play-in team. He's also making players want to come play with him. I know it has nothing to really do with the on-court stuff, but he really is also the defensive player of the year by far. And he's obviously shown he's got the range this year. He's really a lot more efficient, and he's jacking them up now. Definitely switched up their offense this year and things like that, and they look like a really good young team to me who can definitely make it into, now I think a playoff spot with De'Aaron Fox. So just the potential he had this year and what he's been adding to that team from versus this year to the strength he's added, his weight, just all the intangibles as well. I think he's a lot better than he was last year, even though he was still phenomenal last year.
Yeah, that's not really how I calibrate my most improved, but that's your opinion, I guess. But I'm not going to look up anybody else. I only need one player to just make my point. But Monte Ellis did win most improved his second year in the league.
Monte Ellis?
It's crazy.
Yes.
It must have been a crazy jump, though. A crazy-ass jump.
Yes, it was. He averaged 7 points his first season and 16.5 his second season.
Yeah, that's a crazy-ass jump. That's a big jump.
Oh, yeah, you're right. But it's only Monte Ellis. Literally only Monte Ellis. I'm on the list right now.
No, there's others. I've seen it before. I just don't remember who they were. I'm not gonna look it up.
I promise.
It's more about the jump in points. I think a lot of the times with most improved, it's got to be a really big jump in points.
Yeah.
But I wanted to ask you. So.
Yeah, I have There's 7 players in NBA. There's 7 players in NBA history who won most improved their second year.
What's the reasoning for giving it to Cade Cunningham over Tyler Hero?
First of all, we're not just going to breeze by that. I was right. Somebody acknowledged that.
I already acknowledged that you were right when you said Monte Ellis. I already said
he was the only one, and I just proved to you there were 7.
Regardless, you were right from the beginning anyway.
We're not going to breeze. When I'm right, we're not breezing by it.
Do you want to be double right? You're double.
I want to be 7 times right. What is the equivalent of 7 for double? What is that called? Septuple? What is it called? Whatever that is.
That's crazy.
Until you get it right, we're not giving you. That's how it works.
I'm gonna look it up. We'll get back to it. But is that a question for me?
Why would you give it to Cade Cunningham over Tyler Hero if you're talking about statistical improvements? Statistically, if we're talking about the numbers, from last year to this year, Tyler Hero's improved statistically over everywhere more than Cade.
Like I said, I'm also taking into consideration the intangibles. I believe the difference that Cade Cunningham is making on the Pistons is a big deal for me. The Heat are relatively a similar team. You know, they're better for the most part, but like they weren't horrendous last year. You know what I mean? Like that, they weren't great either. You know, nobody was really excited about the Heat, but they weren't horrendous.
But they are missing somebody.
They weren't the worst team. Yeah, they're just now missing him. Like it's just like they've had him for the majority of the season. That's either way.
Jimmy Butler's missed a ton of games this season, even not including the suspensions. He's missed probably close to 15, 20 games.
Yeah, but the Heat has never been a terrible team. That's you asked me what my reason is. That's my reason. Cade Cunningham's difference to the Pistons, I believe, is what would hold him higher. For me, I believe that he's made an impact, changing his play style, improving his game, playing at a more patient rate, playing at a more getting people involved, making sure everybody around him is doing what needs to be done. Feeding off the intangibles, things that you can't track. That's what I'm saying. Things that you can't track, I believe that it's making a difference for him, and I value that. So that's why I want to block him in as my favorite. Statistically, I do agree that Tyler Hero has the best improvement. I do agree with that. But I do value so much to say that a player is improved. And, I mean, I wish they did too. I know they don't, but I wish they also valued some of the things that I value.
But that's what I'm asking. You don't think that Tyler Hero's improved anything when his team says that he has?
Oh yeah, of course they have. Every team in the NBA will tell. Leadership. Every team in the NBA is going to say that their best player has improved, but that's nothing to do with it. I'm just going based off what I see. To me, the Tyler Hero is just doing more than what he did last year, but it's the same role to me. It's the same team. Like nothing about the Heat to me is fascinating. Nothing about the Heat to me is like, oh well, look at them. They're so much better than they were last year. It's like, you're just the Heat again. It's like, oh well, if you pull it off, you can pull it off.
Different this year.
That's the issue, though. The Heat. Like, I feel like we're not really being fair to Tyler. The Heat only got 28 games of Jimmy Butler this season, and they are a similar record as last year. That's because Tyler Hero has stepped up tremendously.
And that's fine. And now the Detroit Pistons have a winning record in our top 6 in the East. I don't know how I would not value that more than what Tyler Hero's doing. Tyler Hero's statistical output has not been enough to produce what the Heat needed to win more games. The Cade Cunningham's statistical improvement, as well as the intangibles that I keep mentioning, were enough for the Pistons to make the improvements that they need.
Yeah, because Cade doesn't have $50 million tied up in a player that's missing 22 games.
And that's fine. Cade also doesn't have another player like Jimmy regardless. So even if it was 28 games, Cade didn't have 28 games of a Jimmy Butler. So he got this by being the best player, the best option, the best available person on this team. So even you give him 15 games of a Jimmy Butler type of player, and the Pistons will just have an even better record. Give him 10 games of a Jimmy Butler type teammate, and he'll have a better record.
I just think that we're being a little biased towards Tyler Hero because he's been on the team so long and he's improved, but he's doing everything that you're saying Cade has. Cade didn't have someone taking up half of their salary and not playing any minutes. Like, if Cade has that, his situation is going to be worse. Let's take, for example, let's say that Ausar Thompson is making $50 million now and he's playing the way he is, or he's not playing at all. Do you still think that they're able to do what they're able to do right now? Like, that's a third of their salary in one person who's not playing. And the Heat are still right outside of the playoffs. I think that they're in the playoffs currently.
What does the salary have to do with the team performing? I don't understand.
The salary matters because you're paying this person to perform, and you have someone who's taking up a max salary contract that's not playing. You could replace that with three role players that would assist Tyler Hero and make that team better. They're not able to do that.
But I'm not going to reward a player because of a what-if scenario. That's not how I do my award stuff. It's what you have right now, what did you do with it? That's all I care about. What you have, what did you do with it? And Tyler Hero is not doing more than Cade Cunningham is doing with it. He's not.
I think that he is.
I mean, the record doesn't show. The record doesn't show that. The record doesn't. The Pistons were a god-awful team. I don't understand how we don't praise Cade Cunningham for upping his game, improving his game. You can have your turn, Pluto, and I finish. But
Because
for him,
this is not because of Cade Cunningham that they're doing it so well. Cade Cunningham helps, but they're doing so well because they actually have a competent coach, and their team is healthier now. Unlike the Heat, who are dealing with Jimmy Butler injuries, suspensions. That it's very clearly there.
25 and 27 does not show me the type of improvement that I need. I think Cade Cunningham makes a difference, and that's just how I see it. He scores. He's scoring better. He's assisting better. He's rebounding better. He's defending better. He's doing what he needs to do to help his team win. Now, is he the only reason they're winning? Of course not. But he's the best player on that team. Coming from a lesser season to this season, it's a huge difference, and I do value that more than what Tyler Hero is doing. So that is ultimately.
I'm not saying that Cade's a worse player. I think Cade's a better player, but we're talking about improvement. Improvement-wise, Cade has always been a better player. I now think Tyler Hero is closer to Cade than he's ever been.
And that's the improvement I'm talking
about. No, I'm blowing my nose, and I didn't want to do it on the screen.
But yeah, I mean,
statistically, I think he's closer to him than he's ever been, and I think that team is doing very well. That's the improvement.
I agree that statistically he has a better improvement than Cade Cunningham. But I believe the other things that I value, and I'm deciding why are you improved this year? Like, I believe that this is things that need to be considered. It's why are you improved? It's not just about my numbers are increased. I believe what Cade Cunningham is doing is showing that he has improved at a level that has reflected on his team. And the fact that they're 29 and 26 after having the worst losing streak in the history of the NBA, that's something I can never overlook. It's a huge jump because of Cade Cunningham.
Success, when you're talking about team success, you are overlooking Jimmy Butler. You are. It's undeniable that you're overlooking what happened with the Heat and Jimmy Butler. You're talking about team success for a team that's only 3 seeds lower than the Pistons. And he didn't have 22 minutes or 22 games of their highest paid player. He's taking up half or a third of the salary. They cannot get players because of Jimmy Butler. And they are only 3 games back. Is that not important?
To me, it's not, because that is a what if. You're saying, what if they did not have Jimmy Butler?
There's no what if.
So then whatever you have is what you have to work with. I can't judge you because of the fact that you had this salary that your GMs couldn't figure out. I can't judge the player because of that. Like, at the end of the day, you play with what you have. You show up to work with what you're given, and you figure out with the tools that they were provided. That's it.
And they're only 3. He's doing that, and they're only 3 games back. That's what I'm trying to say.
And he deserves credit for what he's doing. I'm saying I do not value that over what Cade Cunningham brings to the table. Do I give credit to Tyler Hero? Of course. I think he is playing great. I do believe that. I'm not saying he's not. Statistically, his improvement is better. I do agree with that. But I am valuing more than just the statistical numbers that he's putting out. I value what Cade Cunningham has done for the Pistons more than what Tyler Hero has done for the Heat. That's how I view it.
Yeah, the way I look at it with these two guys, they have like 2 different storylines right now. I feel like Cade Cunningham is like developing like a culture. A culture is being built. They doubled up their wins this year already before like they got to All-Star break. They have this physical presence now. So I think with Cade Cunningham in Detroit, it's more of like a coming out party. And I feel like when it comes to the Heat and with Tyler Hero, I'm not picking a side on these two, but I feel like the Heat and Tyler Hero, I think the Heat with Tyler Hero is like more of a story of like a player coming into his own. And when you look at like Detroit's come up versus like Tyler Hero's personal come up, I think the impact that Cade had by standing with the progress and being there with the team and developing every year and becoming a better player and a leader, I think that kind of shows a little bit why sometimes Cade can win this award. But I think when you're talking statistics, holding it down, even with not having all the pieces possible, like Tyler's saying, you're also getting another player that's like kind of like, okay, look what he's doing with like, half, like 1/4 of like their money being tied up damn near. So it's just like, I don't know, it's kind of two different battles. You know, you got to look at it differently with their storylines for sure.
Yeah, I don't. Cade Cunningham is fantastic, but Cade Cunningham is the same player that he was last year. He just has more minutes and he has more shot attempts. That's all it is. He's less efficient than he was last year.
He's getting it done. That's what I value. He's getting it done.
All right.
He could have easily taken more shots. He could have easily taken more shots and averaged less points, or averaged the same points. That could have happened. He could have taken the same. That could have happened too. But he's bumped it up.
Just less efficient.
His efficiency is the same.
No, statistically it is worse. Not by much.
It's the same. He averaged 44% last year. He's averaging 45% this year. He averaged 35% last year. He averaged 35% this year. He was a 86% free throw shooter last year, or 85% free throw. He's averaging the same exact efficiency.
He's averaging more turnovers, more fouls.
No, we did. Now you mentioned that, but you mentioned efficiency. So I just told you his efficiency is the same.
No, that's efficiency. Efficiency to me is turnovers, fouls, it's shooting. It's all that. When you're passing, if you turn over the ball, you're not an efficient passer.
Well, efficiency to me is shooting numbers, but I mean we can agree to disagree. That's just how I value it. That's how I see it. I cannot overlook a team being that horrible last year and being able to turn it around that quickly, that easily. Not to say they're some sort of championship material team. I don't even know if I'd put my money on it that they can make the playoffs guaranteed. They might end up in the play-in when the season's all said and done, but that's not what their trajectory. That's not what their trajectory shows. So I gotta base it off of what their trajectory is currently showing, and they're damn near almost guaranteed to make the playoffs. They don't have that many games left. I thought there was more games left, but I guess I lost track of the NBA season.
For a lot of teams, it's 28 games.
Yeah, All-Star break now is like.
I thought teams only had like 42 or 45 games, but I definitely was wrong.
No, they've had way more games than that.
All right, what do we want to do next? MVP or Defensive Player of the Year?
MVP definitely.
Defensive Player. Oh, what about Coach of the Year? Oh, look at us. Sinking in.
Coach of the Year, I'll go first, if you don't mind. I'm going to go Kenny Atkinson for the Cavs.
Yeah, I think that's a pretty good pick.
But Mark Daigneault from OKC, not a bad choice either.
When I go with, go ahead. You go next, Nas.
No, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I guess like if I'm a betting man, the Cavs, I guess. Technically speaking, OKC does have a better record now. But I like the underdogs. I like the underdogs here. I really would love to see teams like the Pistons get the credit that they deserve. Again, keep saying it for the rest of the podcast. They've made a gigantic jump that's unheard of, and their coach deserves credit just as much as Cade Cunningham does. The veterans deserve credit just as much as Cade Cunningham does. Everybody on that team does, but we're talking about coach, so I think he deserves credit. I don't know if Coach of the Year, but I don't know, man. It's something to look at.
Because based on what you're saying, Ime kind of fits the bill for you.
Yeah, Ime is another one that I was going to mention, and JJ Redick was going to be my last. If I'm a betting man, I'll have to say the Cavs as well. That would be my odds favorite. But those three teams deserve a lot of credit. I mean, JJ Redick has debatably done more with less, very debatably. Anthony Davis has missed more games than he did last year. Last year he was healthy for the bulk of the season, damn near the whole season. This year he missed not a crazy amount of games, but he left early some games. He got injured. D'Lo played worse than he played last year. So many things were against him, and I think JJ Redick does deserve credit for doing more with less than, good old friend Darvin Ham. And who did I say? Yeah, the Rockets and the Pistons. Yeah, I agree. They also deserve credit, but it's a numbers game. It's an entertainment world, and the Thunder and the Cavs put on a better show. So if I'm a betting man, I have to go with the Cavs. Just shout out to them for doing what they've done this year.
Yeah, talking about
it's crazy.
Go ahead, Tyler.
The Cavs coach last year is the Pistons coach now.
Yeah. So that's exactly where I'm going. I'm going with the Magic's coach. Not playing. I'm going with the Magic's coach though.
What the hell?
When it comes to like body of work, and like
You don't
actual
have a losing
coaching.
record, right?
What do you mean?
They have a losing record.
I'm pretty sure
Relax.
they're negative.
What?
Yeah,
I
they're
haven't checked
27,
those in a
27 and
minute.
29.
Oh well, never mind. Yep, let's go with the Cavs
Yeah,
coach.
that can't be your coach
No,
of the year. I was about to say, there's no
nah,
way.
no. Well, I mean, at one point he was deserving of it. I haven't been keeping up with the Magic. I'm not gonna lie with you guys,
So
but at
this
one
is a
point
good,
he
before
After
you
Franz
finish,
went down.
I'll give you a chance. I'm sorry, but this is a good point. I think we said it before the podcast started. This is what I mean. We do forget to follow up on teams and players, and
yeah,
we judge
yeah,
them based on how they start, and not realize that was 35 games ago. The Magic, since
yeah,
they're, and it's because of injuries. So nothing against the
yeah.
Magic or their players or their coaches.
Either
I
way,
do
though,
agree that it's a phenomenal coach, but every,
yeah. Either way,
they're not the same team they were the first 15 games
no,
of the
no, they're
year.
not. No, no, no. They had like one of the best defense in the league at the time. I
They
didn't know
still
the
do.
record got that bad. Well, I didn't know the
Just
records got that
offensively,
bad.
they're not there.
But nah. At that one point though, he was literally doing it with like a pail and a shovel, and literally a couple players there. He had Anthony Black playing big minutes. Jalen Slug was balling at one point before he hurt his back.
He still does,
Um,
actually. That's the
yeah,
crazy thing.
he's not bad. I mean, the team itself, the record doesn't really give what the team is itself. I did not know they were negative now, but at one point of the season, they were like I think a top four team in the East without Paulo. Then they lost Franz along the way. They got them both back, but they obviously look pretty injured. But regardless of the fact, damn, I did not know they were like 27 and 29. That sucks. What's their seeding?
7th seed
7.
No,
right now.
huh?
The 7th seed right now.
Oh, that's not bad then. They can really work themselves. I mean, what's the difference between the seventh seed and the first seed between games?
2.5 games.
Oh yeah, they can work themselves back. Can definitely work themselves back.
Well,
They still
Wait,
got a
you said-
chance.
it's a lot
Wait.
harder than you're making it seem.
Pluto, wait, what
Yeah,
did
I
you
mean
say?
they got
The
like
17
28
and what
games
seed?
left.
Did you say the 17 and the first seed or the 17 and the sixth seed?
No, the seventh seed to like let's say the seventh seed to like the fifth seed.
Okay. I don't know. I thought you said first. I was like 2.5 games.
No, I did say
Cavs
first
are
at
going
first.
crazy.
Yeah, I was about to say I did say first, and then I heard Nas say 2.5. I was like, oh, they can do it. I
Yeah, I
forgot
was
about
like,
the
wait,
Cavs
what?
record. Cavs were like 41 and like what? How many games did they lost? Like they lost less than 10.
I think 10 now.
They lost 10 right now.
Well, regardless, yeah, I was gonna go with the Magic's coach, but that's not fair because he has a losing record, and this I'm not about to give him that Doc prize where Doc went like what was it 41 and 41 and won a head coach award for the Magic. I think it was the Magic as well, um, but yeah, I'll go with Kenny Atkinson. I mean, it's obviously the favorite. They have the best record. No one expected this. I didn't expect the Cavs to be like the best team in the East when it comes record wise. So yeah, definitely shout out to Kenny Atkinson. Another honorable mention to me is Tom Thibodeau. I think he's been doing pretty good with the Knicks.
I have a
And
question.
yeah, go ahead.
Really
Shit,
quick.
went dark.
How do you guys feel? Okay. How do you feel about the Clippers, Tyronn Lue?
Yeah, I was gonna go there next. Actually, that's funny.
Do you feel like maybe not get it? Do you think he deserves some recognition?
Yeah,
Definitely
for
a great
sure.
coaching job. Definitely a great coaching job.
Yeah,
To
for
keep
sure.
in
Great
mind,
coaching job.
the Clippers are right now the 6th seed, 30 and 23, without Kawhi for majority of the year, with a
Yeah,
ton of injuries.
Yeah, they deserve credit. They no longer have a how can I say? They don't have a franchise player right now. They really don't. I don't know if Kawhi is at that point in his life anymore. I don't know if I consider James Harden a franchise player at this point in his career. They don't have a franchise player anymore. Norman Powell is sure as hell not a franchise player, and
I mean,
he's
right
getting it
now
done.
he is.
I said it. I said it before the season started. I tried to convince Pluto, bro. The Clippers can win games. Tyronn Lue is a phenomenal coach. He knows how to
Yeah,
win
I
basketball
regret what I
games.
said.
He knows how
I
to
didn't
win
notice their
basketball
wings were
games.
so good.
He knows
Their
how to win
wings are really
basketball
good.
games. People talk a lot of shit about how LeBron was the biggest reason why players like Timothy Mozgov, for example, were looking good. But we have to give credit to a guy like Tyronn Lue to put Timothy Mozgov in a situation to thrive off of LeBron. You know what I mean? Tyronn Lue has been winning games with the Clippers, injury-prone team for years now. You know what I mean? So he deserves credit. He doesn't win championships. He doesn't win. Well, I mean, he won one with the Cavs, but he doesn't win championships regularly.
You guys,
He's not
Zubac's
really
playing amazing basketball.
Yeah, he's not making deep playoff runs consistently. Aside from his time with the Cavs, which was LeBron, so he probably doesn't get as much credit as he deserves. But he is a phenomenal coach. He is a phenomenal coach, and I tried to tell you before the season started, he can win games with this squad. He can win games.
He's smooth, and he's really good when it comes to wing players. Like he really knows how to coach up wing players. I think what's his name, Derrick Jones Jr. went through a little stretch where he was playing very good basketball. I think he dropped 34 points or something like that one game. Had a good little stretch. He's really a wing whisperer for sure.
I feel like people just kind of sleep on him, but he's fantastic. Oh, Nas,
he is.
Nas is looking at something.
I was looking at Ainsley. Sorry.
Uh-oh.
Oh, God.
Uh-oh. Look at him. He's blushing. Look at that man.
Yeah, real quick, I was going to say another honorable mention. They've been playing really good basketball lately, the Trailblazers. I know their record sucks.
They have.
I just want to throw it out there. They've been playing great basketball lately.
They lost 3 games.
They're
in a
one
row.
of the better defensive teams.
What is lately?
Overall,
the last 20 games.
They've been playing pretty good.
Well, if you guys say so. Not got much to
I
say
promise
about
you,
that.
look this up. I really do think unfortunately, if they didn't get injured last night, like majority of the injuries they had, I think that they were going to be in the playoffs. Which
The
is
Blazers?
wild to say. The Blazers.
Yeah,
Yes.
no, they're playing great.
You have to understand,
basketball.
they're only 4 games off of the playoffs right now.
If you guys say so,
Their
I'll take
last
your word
10,
for it.
They're
Listen,
6-4.
I have no interest in discussing the Blazers. So if you guys say so, I'll believe you.
I promise. You're going to see. You're going to see.
What about Defensive Player of the Year?
Next year.
You know who it is, Victor Wembanyama.
Can we just unanimously all say Wemby and move on?
Can we give our second pick then? Because Wemby, everyone knows it's going to be Wemby.
It was AD, but now he's going to miss a month of basketball.
I would pick Amin Thompson.
I would pick.
Yeah,
I don't know. You go, Pluto. I have no clue.
Nah, I don't got it either. That's tough.
I'll give you guys some names. Evan Mobley.
Evan Mobley, yeah, that's who it was.
Amin
I couldn't
Thompson.
remember the name. That's who it was. Evan Mobley. I'm sorry.
Give me some more names, Tyler.
AD would be my second pick.
Um,
Evan Mobley would be my third. But now that AD's going to
Lou
miss
Dort is a great option. I think AD will still be eligible most likely. But he's expected. He could miss.
But now he's going to be on a different team, and the Lakers weren't like. It doesn't matter. Wemby's going to get it. Why am I even debating? Who cares?
Okay. I want Amin to win it.
That would be. He's a
Amin?
solid player. I'm excited to see his future. He's an interesting player.
I like that Evan Mobley pick. That Evan Mobley one. I like that one. I like Evan Mobley.
He's a phenomenal defensive player. He's very AD-esque. He's very AD-esque.
I think he's better.
Even more mobile.
At
I do
guarding
not
the
think he's a
guard.
better defender than Evan Mobley. No,
No, I think he's better than him at guarding the point guard than AD.
I do not agree.
You don't think so?
I don't think any big man that size, like a real big man, not like small big man, like a real big man. I don't think there's a big man that is a better switch on a guard than AD. Like a real big man,
Jaren
not
Jackson
Mobley, a small big man.
not no
A
small
big man.
guys, but like real big.
I think Jaren Jackson Jr. is better.
He's the only one I'd give you. That's the only one that I'd give you. I would debate against it, but I'd be willing to shut up and say that's okay. That's a good pick. But not Evan Mobley. No, definitely not.
Evan Mobley's in that realm. I just don't think he's better, but he's in that realm.
He's probably top 5. Bottom of the top 5.
Yeah.
I'd probably put Bam over Evan Mobley as well.
Yeah, I definitely
It'd go
put Bam
AD,
over Evan.
Jaren, Bam, Evan for me.
I like Bam. I think I like Bam over AD, to be honest with you.
I don't.
No, I like Bam over AD for sure.
I've never seen. I mean, it's probably happened. You can correct me if I'm wrong, but I've never seen Bam have a game-winning defensive possession against the guard. I've seen AD have multiple, and I mean multiple. I'm talking about against Jamal Murray. I'm talking about against Damian Lillard. Now he did get a game-winner hit on him by Jamal Murray, but that was one instance. I've seen him against Damian Lillard.
We'll give it to Kevin Love.
I was gonna say Kevin Love on Steph Curry. Kevin Love got a stop on Steph Curry in the finals.
No, I was talking about Bam. I was saying compared to Bam. I've never seen Bam do that. At least I haven't. I don't follow the Heat that much, so maybe I'm just wrong.
I was being facetious. I was
Kevin Love deserves credit for sure. Not known for being a defender, but he definitely did a very good job of playing smart. He understood what angles to approach. Because realistically, Curry was pretty consistently kind of shifting him and getting by him. I think Love did a really good job of playing his angles correctly to where he could do something to slow him down even after he got shifted or blown by.
Yeah.
Because Kevin Love's not stopping Curry straight up.
At all. At all.
He was on skates. He was definitely on skates. Let's not bypass that. But shout out to Kevin Love.
Controlling the skates.
Yeah, exactly. Shout out to Kevin Love though. He did a good job. But
all right,
what about MVP?
Our favorite one. What about MVP?
All
right. My choice for MVP would be. Let me see if I.
Do you want me to go first before you finish? Because I think you guys know what my pick is.
Is it the fourth point guard on the list?
I'm picking HoopTalk's unanimous fourth best point guard in the league, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Number 4 point guard, but number 1 in the NBA. That's all I can say.
I still got Jokic. I still believe in Jokic.
Not crazy.
Number 3 seed, that is enough for me to deserve an MVP nod or consideration. Unlike Westbrook, who was a number 6 seed, but number 3 is good enough. Number 4 is even good enough too. But I genuinely believe the Nuggets will finish this season as a number 2 seed. I genuinely believe that. I think they'll be far more consistent than the Memphis Grizzlies will be. And I think Jokic's play has been phenomenal. Shai's play has also been phenomenal. I have nothing against Shai, and I don't believe that's a crazy pick at all. I have no need to debate or argue this. My choice would be Jokic, though.
I want to argue it.
Real quick, before I make my pick, Tyler, what is the Timberwolves record?
Oh, God.
I'm going to tell you right now before even looking down. Actually, no, go ahead, Go ahead.
No. Before I make the pick. What is the Timberwolves record?
They're 4th in the West.
Okay, so my pick is Anthony Edwards.
All right, they're 30 and 5. They're 30 and 5. They're the 7th seed.
I thought they were 4th. I was going so hard with them. Come on, Tyler.
I had to lie to you because I just wanted you to say
they've been playing, and Anthony Edwards is a part of this journey.
Say it again. I'm sorry.
Anthony Edwards has his 5th kid right now. Just keep that in mind. 5. Just this week.
I'm not sure if the voter
has nothing to do with how he's been playing basketball.
That into consideration.
Literally, a guy who wears jeans to play basketball. He has a French guy who's scared of his own shadow. Like, literally, he's by himself in Minnesota with Mike Conley, who's like 17,000 BC years old. Like, literally, it's Anthony Edwards and a band of misfits right now in Minnesota, and he's getting it done. So I don't know. Even if it's the 7th seed, that is a little low when it comes.
He's not getting.
I think he's doing a pretty good job to hold that team afloat. I think he's doing the best anybody can do with that team right now.
For how efficient and everything that Anthony Edwards is, it is kind of wild. Like
you got to give him his credit, man.
He is playing.
I think you're Anthony.
You're completely diminishing what an MVP award is for by saying Anthony Edwards deserves it. Completely.
He is literally the most valuable player for his team.
Wait.
MVP
One second. You keep cutting out, Nas. You keep like.
Yeah, you do.
Does it sound any different now? Like.
No, it's still cutting off.
No, it keeps going. It literally stops you talking for a second. Like it's like maybe your mic might be loose.
Like you're muting it or something.
Oh, that could be. No, my mic is my laptop, so that's important. I don't know what to say. The recording is gonna sound fine, but I guess
okay, we're good then.
But you can at least understand what I'm saying, right?
Partially.
Okay. All right. Well, either way, my final point is you're completely just diminishing what an MVP award is for.
Right, Tyler? Am I
I
tripping?
agree. Wait, it is hard to hear you. I'm not gonna lie. It is pretty hard.
All right. Well, let's take a quick break. I'll exit out. How about we exit and come back in? Maybe it's some sort of connection issue.
All right.
All right, we'll be right back.
Yeah, I did not want you to go through that noise. That shit sounded horrible.
Talk
I don't
about
hear anything on my end. Everything sounds normal on my end.
I
No, it's
don't hear
back now. You're good now.
every like third word you would say, and it would just
Yeah,
like completely silent, and then it would come back.
Well, that's
yeah,
probably
it's
just it's
bad.
probably just the video call that was doing that because the way it works, it's hard to explain. How it works on my
Yeah.
end is not how it works on your end. You guys are using the video call. I'm using the software.
I was worried because
Okay,
we
I get
can't
what you're
talk to
saying.
you that way. I can't understand what you're saying when it's like.
Yeah, yeah, I couldn't understand anything you're saying.
That's fine. We'll just go back to this. But yeah, we're back. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen, we had to fix the audio issues there. Um, like I said before we finished off. Yeah, it's just that's not what MVP means. It's not about. That's why I was trying to convince you that they should add a most outstanding player. That's something that he could
Yeah.
possibly make a conversation.
This
for.
is like
Oh my
exactly
God,
right.
I can't
Yeah,
stand
this is a perfect example of somebody
You
who
know-
can be in the conversation for most outstanding, but he's just is not logically in a conversation for most valuable because him playing great and keeping them afloat is not value, it's just luck. That's all it is. Like he's just
Luck?
playing great. He's playing great on a bad team. That's not value to me. That's just not value.
Whose team do you think is better, Pluto? Do you think Jokic's surrounding cast is better than the Timberwolves right now?
I think Jokic, OKC, they all have better surrounding cast than Anthony
Not
Edwards does
OKC,
right now.
specifically the Nuggets
Hell yeah,
versus
the
the
Nuggets
Timberwolves.
got a way better
Who do you think has a
cast.
better team? You take out Anthony Edwards, you take out Jokic. Who has a better team?
The Nuggets are way deeper than Minnesota, to me, in my eyes.
No.
Can you name every
The Nuggets
player
are not
coming off
deep.
the
They
bench
have
at
a
every
starting
position?
point guard. They have a backup point guard.
Who's their backup point guard?
Minnesota
Who's their
doesn't
backup?
have neither.
Who's their backup point guard?
Russell Westbrook.
Who's their backup shooting guard?
I do not know that.
Who's their
person off
backup
the
small
bat of my
forward?
head. Peyton Watson.
Who's their
Aaron
backup power
Gordon's-
forward?
Well,
Actually,
he's their
Aaron
backup
Gordon's
forward.
the backup power forward.
He's
Aaron
not.
Gordon's the
He's a
backup power
starter.
forward. Yeah, he comes off the bench.
Peyton Watson's a backup
And-
forward.
Christian Bond's their starting shooting guard. I don't know their backup shooting guard off the top of my head, but yeah, they're deep. They're actually pretty deep. Peyton Watson's playing
So
pretty
nobody
good.
named
Tristan
them?
Bronson's playing
Hey,
good.
Nobody
hey,
you named is
team-
better than Rudy Gobert right now.
Rudy
Nobody.
Gobert can't guard the guy who's on the court right now. He cannot guard the Nuggets' best player.
But that, we're
No.
talking about no, we're not talking about against each other. We're talking about take these two teams, take away their star. Nobody on either of these two teams is better than Rudy Gobert.
And then who?
Well, Jamal Murray is the better.
Rudy Gobert.
Yeah,
Wait,
you're
think.
tripping.
I don't think
Tyler.
Jamal Murray's better than Rudy
Murray's
Gobert.
definitely the second after Anthony Edwards and Nikola Jokovic. Jamal Murray is the next player up, and then you can go Rudy, and then you're gonna go MPJ. Then you can go Aaron Gordon or Russell Westbrook. It's gonna be a lot more Nuggets players picked up before it is any. Minnesota players.
Completely disagree. We got Dante DiVincenzo, Julius Randle, Rudy
He's not playing
Gobert.
good.
We
He's
got
not playing
Nas,
good.
Nas
McDaniels.
Reed. We got Jaden McDaniels. The Wolves
Nikhil
clearly
Alexander
have
Walker.
the better
The
supporting
first
cast.
two people you named are not playing good. They're not.
They're
playing great
playing
basketball
better
at all.
than the players that are on the Nuggets. The bench for the Nuggets is not deep. I don't know where you got that from. Westbrook is it. They do not have a deep bench. Peyton Watson had a short period of time where he showed some glamour. Shout out to him. That was a long time ago. They have, I don't know who their backup center is. I don't know who their backup shooting guard is.
Zeke Naji.
I don't know who their backup small forward is. I guess Peyton Watson
What's
is a
his
power
name?
forward.
Strawers
Exactly.
actually played decent
We
basketball.
can't even figure
Julius
out his
Strawers.
last name for real. Exactly. So
He's playing decent basketball though.
played
Julius Strawers.
decent compared to
He's
a
playing
Nas
better than
Reed who
probably-
comes off the bench for the Wolves. He's only starting because Randall is injured. Dante DiVincenzo, who in his
Strother only
worst
averages
season,
9 points.
Dante
That's
DiVincenzo
not
in
bad
his worst
coming off the
season,
bench.
Dante DiVincenzo in his worst season is still better than every player on the Nuggets bench.
I don't think he's better.
The
than Russell
Nuggets,
Westbrook
realistically,
Yeah,
the
aside
Nuggets
from Russell
realistically
Westbrook,
only have
and
an
that's
8-man
debatable.
rotation.
Hmm?
The Nuggets have an 8-man rotation, realistically. And then outside of that, it's an aging Dario Saric who has only played 14 games.
Shit, I
It's
forgot about him.
DeAndre Jordan. DeAndre Jordan's playing 40 games, only 11 minutes a game. Like they do not have a bench. That's why they keep losing. They don't have a bench.
Pound for pound, though, starting lineup versus starting lineup, I think, like, let's just go, like, from there. I can give you guys the bench, yeah. But pound for pound, their starting lineup versus starting lineup, I think the Nuggets have a better starting lineup.
I don't think so, because I think Michael Porter Jr. and Jaden McDaniels, to me, I think is a wash. I really do think that they cancel each other out.
Yeah,
I think
I agree.
Julius Randle is better than Aaron Gordon.
I think Eric Gordon can guard Quinn and Randle.
It's not. We're not looking at them matching up against each other. We're looking at them as players individually, seasons compared to each other. Julius Randle and Eric Gordon are damn near the same, if not.
Okay.
I would say Randle's better.
Julius Randle's arguably better.
Conley. Who's better?
Jamal Murray is the only one that's winning that matchup.
Jamal Murray.
We said MPJ and Jaden McDaniels.
Nikolai and Rudy.
No, we're saying take them off. That's what we're saying. We're looking at supporting cast. We're talking about supporting cast. Who has the better supporting cast?
Well, I just said pound for pound starting lineup. I told you guys I think the bench, you guys might be right. It might be a little deeper for Minnesota.
Oh, the Nuggets are winning. The Nuggets have Jokic.
Yeah, the Nuggets have
winning
Jokic.
Everything if they have
of course,
Jokic.
they're winning the starting lineup immediately because
They
Jokic
might win
makes
the
them better.
championship.
The conversation that Tyler started is supporting cast. Who has the better supporting cast? And it is obviously the Wolves. It is obviously the Wolves. The coaching might be terrible. The synergy there might be terrible. They might be doing something terrible overall. The environment might be negative because they traded Cat. There's so many things that could be happening over there to make them play bad. It is not their skill. And we cannot say that it is because they can win if they put it together correctly. They have the players to do that. Something else is happening over there. Like I said, could be coaching, could be locker room, could be front office fucking it up by trading Cat. It could be so many things, intangibles. Skill-wise, they can win. They should not be losing, even if it's Julius Randle. No matter what you think about him, they can win games. They're just not doing that. So
I hate that, man.
Supporting cast, the Wolves have a better supporting cast. Anthony Edwards is not most valuable because if he was that valuable, he could get it done with the supporting cast. Not win a championship.
I don't think that's fair.
Not win a championship, but win more games.
I don't think that's fair. I think
that is what value is.
Definitely,
that's what it's been forever. He's outstanding.
I didn't know they
Phenomenal.
were. I didn't know they were the. Hold on. I didn't know they were the 7th seed. So that's why I asked Tyler what seed they were. I really wouldn't. If they were the 4th seed, I would have argued that a little better. Fuck you, Tyler. But
because I knew you were gonna pick
the
that.
7th seed. That I can't go with that. I will go. I think I like. I hate this argument between Jokic and SGA, but I think, like I told you, I think it's SGA's season this year. I think SGA's been playing really good. I think SGA's been missing Chet, missing certain players here and there. So definitely go SGA. I mean, my dark horse would be Anthony Edwards. I think he's been playing phenomenal. You guys are lucky I didn't say Jalen Green.
I think every listener, all 24 of our listeners are lucky that you did not say Jalen Green, because that would have been another argument.
Green, I'm getting off.
Nah, I wouldn't even went crazy. I would have went Trae Young.
All right, well.
Though, wait, really quick before we move forward, shout out Jalen Green. He is having a good season for once.
Like earlier than normal.
Yeah.
Yo, Nas, you're a hater.
So good for him. No, shout out for him.
Let's see what happens in March. He might go nuclear.
Facts. If he does his usual jump, he might turn into a superstar out of nowhere. But
he might be most improved.
No, he might be. He might.
I just want to say, I call the Rockets being good this year.
I think we all agree that the Rockets are going to be a better team this year.
No. I said they were going to be a playoff team. You guys said no, they weren't.
No, I definitely had them in the playoffs. Yeah, we all agreed that the Rockets.
We have it in the notes.
I think very highly of Ime Udoka, so I knew for a fact he was going to be able to make this team better.
I think high as Sengun. I think playoff. I think they're going to be Sengun.
Yeah, I think they're going to be playoffs.
I think they were playing team. I'm pretty sure, but
whatever. No, I've been high on Sengun this whole time. Really high.
But speaking of players that do not deserve MVP, Luka Doncic, how do you guys feel about...
that transition was sick.
How do you guys feel about Luka Doncic's performance with the Lakers thus far?
Not deserve MVP.
It's only been 2 games.
Has he only played one? I didn't watch the second game. How do you do the second game? I didn't even know he
Same as the
played.
first game.
The second game, kind of, they lost. They lost to they played the Utah, both same games. First game looked really good. It looked very like it could exist a world with two primary ball handlers that really need the ball. I didn't get to watch the second game. I just saw like Dalton Connect's three that he hit in the corner. But other than that, I just feel like that team when they can get together like in staggered minutes where LeBron's controlling it at one time, then you go ahead and sub LeBron for Luka. Now Luka can control it at one time, and then they could also coexist together at certain times. I think that team's gonna be a good team. They could really be really good, really fast too. It's scary.
So
What you said is spot on. Just really quick, there was a moment where I was watching the feed. LeBron goes to sit and Luka comes in for him. Could you imagine being the defender? And I think one of you guys might have said this, but could you guys imagine being the defender that has to go from defending LeBron? He says they're like, oh, I get a bum to come in, and it's Luka. Like that sucks, bro. That sucks.
Yeah, I mean, I know nobody cares about the Lakers because they've been an underwhelming looking team, but they've been playing great basketball for a while now, for a few weeks now. Before Luka, with Anthony Davis, without Anthony Davis, overall, they've been playing great basketball. I do not believe Luka Doncic has made a difference yet, but it's only game 2, so nothing to really worry about. And I'm sorry, I don't even mean to word it that way. Like, I'm not saying, like, we should probably be worried. That's not what I mean. What I mean is he hasn't really been Luka. He's just kind of there doing his thing, scoring every little bit every once in a while. Not really doing Luka things yet. So highlights, of course, because I don't think he'll ever have a game in his life where he can't have a major highlight for the day. But nothing overwhelming to me. It's like you're just playing. Like, I think he needs to wake up and realize, like, I think every single I'm gonna go on a rant for a second here. Every single star that plays with LeBron has the same issue. They're starstruck, and I hate that, bro. It's like LeBron wants you.
Yeah, I get it. You're right. You can see it
LeBron
on
wants
face.
you to go off, bro. He wants you to take the ball from him. He wants you to shoot it. He's been watching you in Dallas since you've been drafted. You know what I mean? He's been playing with you. LeBron's been on the Lakers since Luka's been drafted, right? Am I getting my time right?
Yeah, because he came in 2018.
Right, so he's been playing against you in the same conference since you've been drafted. It's like to me, he looks starstruck. He needs to go out there and drop 30. He needs to go out there and get triple doubles. I want to see Luka Doncic. I don't want to see a new player on the Lakers. And I admire LeBron because he had a moment that was clipped up, and he said it. He literally told Luka, he told the whole team in the huddle, go out there, do what we do, blah, blah, blah. Luka, don't come in here trying to fit in, fit out, do your thing, play basketball. You know what I mean? And Luka hasn't listened just yet. He scored, I think, 15 the first game, 14 the second game. He has to go out there and be himself. That's what we traded him for. That's what Pelinka pulled the plug for. That's what we sacrificed generational talent like AD for. It's early, and he's getting used to things, so I have nothing negative to say about him. I think he's going to do just fine. He's going to blow up out of nowhere eventually. But to me, it's not overwhelming yet, but he's going to get there. Maybe next game. Maybe next game.
I think you expected a little too much of him too early. He hasn't played in 2 months before this.
It's Luka Doncic. There's no world where I don't expect him to show up and score 25 at least.
No, wait. He hasn't played in 2 months, and in 20 minutes a game he's been playing, or less than 25, he's averaging 14 shots a game. Like, that's a lot.
There's no world where I don't see Luka Doncic scoring 20 to 25 points. That's, of course,
he will.
Yeah,
he's been injured for 2 months.
That's what I said. He will. I said that.
Yeah, I think he's
you're saying you're not overwhelmed, or you say he's just whelming. Bro, he's been injured. Give him a little bit of time.
Yeah, I'm not overwhelmed. It's true. Isn't it a fact? Are you overwhelmed? Are you shocked at Luka on the Lakers right now?
I'm shocked that Luka's coming back this early and already averaging, efficient games after not playing for 2 months. Yeah, I'm shocked.
Shocked is a strong word to use. But okay.
Pluto, you said something?
Yeah, I was saying, like, when he's playing. Like I noticed a lot of like even when they would do timeouts and stuff, he looks like super out of shape. Not like fat out of shape, but no, you own a team, so you know like basketball out of shape, like running up and down the
Like not in game
court.
shape.
Yeah, he's not in game shape at all. Like
I feel like
I
Luka
can notice
always
that.
looks like that though.
No, not really. He looked
It's
really
worse
like
because he's
out of
been out
game
for
shape.
2 months.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
he's
The
he's
NBA speed's
always
different.
he's built like me, which is not conducive to a good basketball like experience. And he has
But
also
he's
been
six
injured for 2
six.
months. Well, yeah, that's why I say he's built like me. I'm 6'5", so I'm close. I'm not. He's 6'7". He got 2 inches on me.
Oh God. Well, on the same topic of the Lakers, their trade for Mark Williams got rescinded. What do you guys think about that? What are your
Yeah, I
thoughts?
know how I feel about it.
Man, the Lakers have a guardian angel, bro. They absolutely do.
They do. Have you ever seen the Angels in the outfield? They work for the Lakers as well. But
That's the Anaheim Angels.
Yeah, I think they
That's right
probably
by LA.
dodged the bullet. If he felt that physical, they probably dodged the bullet. It's most likely he had more going on than the Hornets led us to believe. Even though I would have loved to see Mark Williams eventually when he was healthy, it looks like he wasn't going to be healthy for a little bit of time. So maybe we dodged the bullet. Maybe.
yeah,
So,
for sure.
talking about injured centers, how do you guys feel about the 76ers and Joel Embiid?
That's a crazy story. I kind of feel bad for him right now.
Same way I
I
felt a
know
month
that's.
ago, 2 months ago, 3 months ago.
For the rest
I
of this
feel bad.
season, do you think maybe they shut it down? So right now, at this exact moment, if they get the 6th seed, or I'm sorry, if they decide to take right now, they are in the bottom 6 in the league, and they have a 45% chance at keeping their pick. If they go to the 7th seed or above, they lose their pick to OKC. Do you think that they should shut everyone down?
I don't believe so. I don't think that's a decision you can make with a roster like this without making a lot of higher ups very upset.
They're 20 and 34 to give you an idea. They are 20 and 34.
So
Although I don't believe in them, I fully understand why a franchise would still believe in them. But again, I do not.
yeah, no, I don't believe him at all. I have zero belief that they'll turn this around. I think it's just going to get worse. And when Joel Embiid talked about his leg injury, it kind of made me sad because I know we kind of get on him about being injured, but like I didn't know that he plays through a lot of these injuries and not even fully like recovering from his knees injuries and all those physicals he has to do. So like, and then Paul George also he's pushing through it. He's having a cortisone shot every other game. Honestly, man,
That's what flopping and failing every game will do to you. That's both of their game styles.
but all
They
jokes
literally
set
jump on the
aside,
floor.
all
Yep.
jokes set aside, I mean, I don't think the recouping this year isn't bad. I don't think coming back next year, fresh start, everybody has their bodies right, everybody has their mind right, a real game plan to win.
They add Cooper
I don't think it's
Flag
a
to the
bad
mix,
idea.
possibly.
Um,
Ace Bailey. It's
yeah,
all
so, I mean,
possible.
I think that pick would be more trade value if anything, but regardless, though, all regardless, I just think if they can come back next year with a fresh mind, everybody healed, everybody's body's right, I don't think it's a bad decision. But like Nas says, this is a business. Money needs to be made. Tickets need to be sold. Hot dogs need to be eaten. And if you don't have your two best players, arguably the
Wise.
franchise, playing, then you really can't do all that, and you're losing out on a lot of money versus them playing through it. So it just all depends.
No, I agree. If they come next season with a fresh start and trade Paul George, I think they're set.
Yeah,
That's the thing. They're not going to win with Paul George.
You
It's
saw
just
how I
not going to
slipped that
happen.
in there?
yeah, I saw that.
But speaking of
How
injured
bad
big
has it been
men,
playing?
oh, sorry, you had more to say, my bad.
No, I was going to say how bad has it been playing, but go ahead.
I was saying, speaking of injured big man, Anthony Davis, in typical Anthony Davis fashion, after joining a team, has been, I forget what he injured, something I've never heard of before, but
I thought it was groin.
no, it could be part of the groin. I don't know. They use a different word. I know that much. But either way,
Abductor.
yeah, that something I never heard of. But he's out for a month. completely destroying my fantasy hopes. He was my first round pick, and I am only one loss so far. But I'm probably going to get
How
a lot
many
more.
losses do I have?
I don't think anybody cares. But what do you guys think about Anthony Davis?
Wait. Before we move forward, how many losses?
Just tell the people, Tyler. Let them know. You know you want to.
I want you to tell me.
I don't know. My app is frozen. I can't open it.
We'll move back. We'll come back to that when your app starts working.
I'm
undefeated. I haven't lost.
Are you serious? Or are you being sarcastic?
Yeah.
Okay, he's being sarcastic.
No, he actually is undefeated. But
Really? Okay.
But Anthony Davis being injured, how do you guys feel? Is this the basketball gods at work? Is this Nico's karma for betraying the Dallas Mavericks fan base? Is this just
I feel bad
Anthony
for
Davis?
the Mavericks players and like the Mavericks fans. I love this for Nico. Like, you deserve that. You literally traded Luka saying that he was injury prone and he didn't play in the game shape. And then within 2 to 3 games, Anthony Davis gets injured. It's 2 games, right? That he got injured?
One game. One game played.
Yeah, first game,
you,
third quarter. It sucks. Anthony Davis is one of my favorite players, so I think very highly of him. I have nothing but good things to say about him, even before he joined the Lakers. But it does suck that a player of that caliber goes through this type of stuff, similar to what we just discussed about Joel Embiid. And it's like, it's different things over and over again, you know what I mean? Like a knee, an ankle, something in your leg, and something in your hips, and something in your groin, shoulder, back. It's like, it sucks. A player of that caliber, I really do believe Anthony Davis, fully healthy, being able to go out there and play freely without worrying about his next injury, without worrying about what's the next thing I'm going to tear, what's the next thing I'm going to, bruise, whatever the case is. He could be a top 10 player in this league. At his peak, it's a swap that, at the very least, doesn't make you a worse team. You know what I mean? So it's just unfortunate that the injuries happened for him, but hopefully he gets healthy soon, because I am genuinely curious to see what Dallas looks like in the playoffs. I am genuinely curious to see how that works out. If they can get everybody back.
Doesn't look bad at all.
Does look pretty nice.
Yeah.
That was a question, by the way.
What?
I'll come back after Pluto. I have a question after this. Go ahead, Pluto.
I was going to say, it looked good. It looked great. But like Nas said, it's the story of his career. Just knick-knack injuries. I think the groin thing is a little scary because it was non-contact. So I don't know if it makes it worse. But, just he had 11 rebounds first half, 2 blocks. He wasn't having to bang up, down low as much. He has those 2 big men there. It just sucks because, I was thinking maybe a fresh start, maybe a new name he could build for himself, but literally first game, he turns into the gingerbread man all over again.
If they're healthy, this is a tough team to beat in the playoffs,
It's a good
bro.
team. It's a good team.
And I understand fully. I know everybody who's going to be listening to this is going to think I'm crazy because you lost Luka Doncic. He's the reason you all went to the finals. But, like, this is not an easy team to beat in the playoffs if they're healthy. Like, Anthony Davis at the 4 is not an Anthony Davis that we've seen in a long time. That's not the same Anthony Davis that was on the Lakers. He doesn't have to bang bodies with these big-ass Jokic's and Embiids. He's free to completely dominate. Power forwards are not strong enough, and if they are, they're not fast enough. You know what I mean? It's just he's a mismatch nightmare. Me and Tyler have talked about it in the past. He is a Kevin Durant power forward type of guy. You know what I mean? Like, he is the Kevin Durant of power forwards. He's a mismatch nightmare. There is no matchup. You know what I mean? I think Giannis is probably the most likely capable player to go out there and guard him because of Giannis. He's a freak of nature.
And Giannis is still not strong enough.
And Giannis is still going to struggle. You know what I mean? But, like, the best defensive power forwards in the league, they're not going to be able to handle somebody like AD. And it's, Jaren Jackson, Evan Mobley. They're not going to look like defensive player of the years guarding AD. They're not going to look like it.
Even in the West. Draymond.
Yeah, it's tough. It's a tough team.
Draymond will get cooked by AD. If Draymond has to guard AD, it's barbecue chicken, bro.
That's what it's going to be. Kevin Durant's going to have to guard AD. Like those are the players they're playing power forward right now. Quinn Randall, like those players are gonna get cooked by AD if he's playing at that power forward position.
It's gonna be tough. Aaron Gordon does a good job. Shout out to him. I will say that. But
It's
aside
different
from
now,
that,
though.
He does a good job with LeBron too. He's just a good defender.
yeah,
He has
he's
size.
No, he's
and
a great
he-
defender.
Yeah,
He's a
shout out
great
to him.
defender.
I have a question. This is a question earlier. I finally remembered what it was. Let's take everything back, and both of these players will both be 25 years old in this scenario. Luka Doncic getting traded from the Mavs at 25 years old for Anthony Davis at 25, and the first round pick that they got. Do you view that trade differently?
Yeah,
In that case,
it's much more. It's much more equal value now. It's much more like this makes sense now. Like we're getting a generational talent for a generational talent. We're getting somebody who we don't have faith in, but we're getting back somebody who is in at that point in time when you look at it, it's like he's guaranteed to win us a championship. That's how you look at it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whereas right now
he's a 4-time all defense by that point already.
Yeah, which right now it's like I don't think you can say the same. I think highly of him, so I do believe that Anthony Davis, if that team is assembled correctly, can be a catalyst for them to win a championship. I do believe that. I don't think Nico, with this trade for Luka, has proven that he has the wits to make the assembly happen. But a better GM who has made better decisions could assemble a squad that makes perfect sense for these guys to win a championship. But I understand why, at this point in AD's career, people don't believe in that. I fully understand it. I get it. At 25, it's an even swap. No matter how good Luka is, that's an even swap. AD is generational. He is arguably the best two-way player in the league. I guess you have to consider Kawhi was probably younger at that time too, so he might be the best two-way player at that point. But it's an even swap. I look at it completely different. It's an even swap to the point where I'm willing to sit here and negotiate. I'm not giving you no damn first round pick. You take
Just
AD
take it
straight up. You take
Straight
AD
up.
straight up. I might have to say you give us an extra player. I might have to say that. Like we're giving you
that
Anthony
season?
Davis.
That's for AD and DJ Hardy.
To give you an idea, that season that he would have got traded, AD averaged 28 and 11, 2.6 blocks a game.
Yeah,
Shooting
yeah.
35% from three.
Even swap, bro. It's an even swap at that point.
No. How many Luka with a first round? I'm giving up a
No,
6'11".
No.
No. Hold on.
You're
No. I'm gonna have to even tell Nas. I'm gonna tell Nas on this. You're giving up a 6'11", can guard 1 through 5, can score 28 points a game, can defend and block, can get steals and generate turnovers. That's a lot, and you're still getting a lot of offense from him. It's like he's offensively, he averages like what he can do all of like at least 50 points by himself. Like if we're taking like steals, blocking, and countations for fast
He was
breaks and
dropping
everything
50
like that.
points at that time.
Listen,
he was
at
dropping
20
50 bombs like
at
regularly.
at 25, Anthony Davis fucked Kevin Durant up in the playoffs.
Yeah,
Let me tell you
Yeah.
that. At 25, Pelicans versus Warriors, Anthony Davis tore him up.
yeah,
Bro,
yeah. I agree with
he
you.
averaged 31 points his first playoff series. His first ever.
All right. I
And
need to
then
get a
30
different
the
charger,
next
you guys. I'll be right back. You guys keep going.
Yeah, it's an even
I
swap
think that
for
that's
sure.
something you could absolutely argue. Like,
No, I
without
agree.
a doubt.
I agree 100%. I think
And
I think extremely
bring up
highly.
injuries because Luka's injured too.
Yeah, I think extremely highly of Anthony Davis. Yeah, I think it's easily an even swap. Easily. And I really, this could be crazy because Luka Doncic at the end of the day, generational as well, at the end of the day. But it's, conference finals and finals, that's going to weigh into the debate here. You know what I mean? Not the debate, but the negotiations. That's going to weigh into he went to the conference finals 2-3 years ago, I believe. Just went to the finals last year. So, that's going to weigh in. But listen, we can trade them straight up. And at that point, and this is under the assumption that the trade has to happen, right? Under the assumption that the trade has to happen, we can trade them straight up. If we're talking about just Nico hitting us up, I'm saying hell no. Get off my phone. I don't want Luka Doncic. I want Anthony Davis. Why would I want a lazy, plays no defense superstar for the best two-way big men this league has seen since Kevin Garnett.
He was already top 5 in the league at that time too. Keep that in mind.
The best
already saying he's
two-way
top 5.
big man this league has seen since Kevin Garnett. Kevin Garnett. A top 5 power forward in NBA history. Come on, man. Get off my phone.
This is before Giannis becomes who Giannis is. Giannis becomes him the next 3 years.
At 25, Anthony Davis is a top 5 player in the league.
That's what I'm saying, yeah.
Easily.
Without a doubt. Bro, 28 and 11, 2.6 blocks a game. That's crazy.
No,
In the playoffs,
it's a conversation for sure.
First series, he averages 31. He gets eliminated in 4. The second one, he gets eliminated to the Golden State in the second round, averaging 30, bro. Like, he's disgusting.
Yeah, I'm telling him, get off my phone, Nico. Get off my phone. Go trade him somewhere else. We don't want him. We got Anthony Davis. Get off my phone.
Literally. I'm surprised the Lakers strong-armed him the way they did. I'm surprised
the Lakers didn't strong-arm anything. The Lakers did nothing. This fell into their lap, bro.
No,
like, literally, this man hit him up for everything. Like, I can't... And then after that, the Hornets did the same thing. I can't believe that. Rob Pelinka just...
No, I'm talking about Anthony Davis going to the Lakers.
Oh, yeah. Rich Paul is a goat.
We gave a lot though. That was a haul.
Yeah, a lot that doesn't matter in the NBA, like Brandon Ingram, Lonzo Ball, Josh Hart.
They wish they had Josh Hart still.
Yeah, and Kyle Kuzma. Like, you guys gave up. Well, you guys kept Kyle, so you really didn't lose a lot for one championship.
We gave a lot. Rightfully so. Of course, Anthony Davis was a better return. We won a championship immediately after. So, like, of course, Anthony Davis was the best return. But we can't underestimate the fact that we did give them phenomenal players, young, phenomenal players.
Lonzo Ball, Josh Hart, those picks, I don't even know what they turned into.
You just were talking about how all these guys are starters in the NBA right now. Like, what you were just talking about.
They're not Anthony Davis.
Of course they're not Anthony Davis. That's
what I'm saying. Like, they gave up a lot, but they got way more in return. They got
that was a fair trade though. That was a very, very fair.
You think
trade.
so?
Yeah, very.
No, it's a fair trade. I'm just
they
saying,
drafted Zion.
The winner of the trade was the Lakers.
Of course,
the winners of the trade was the Lakers.
Of course, yeah,
for sure.
Of course, but it was a fair trade. It definitely was a fair trade because now we're giving up a future for you guys, a young future. Alonzo Ball, Brandon Ingram, the pick that led to become Zion, didn't it? Isn't that how that worked?
Yeah.
No, they had their own pick.
Yeah, that was their own pick. I think they had
Lakers had 4.
Who did they draft with that Lakers pick?
I don't think anybody's special, to be honest.
Jose Alvarado? No, I'm playing.
But either way,
I actually don't know.
Let's find out. Well, but yeah, I think it was an even trade for sure at that point in time. And of course,
was it Trey Murphy?
There's always going to be.
They traded it to Atlanta, and Atlanta picked up DeAndre Hunter.
Oh wow! The Laker lineage is crazy.
Yeah.
Let me pull up that trade that draft real quick. I'm actually curious to see.
And then
that was a number 4
Atlanta
pick.
Hawks,
so who was available at that point that the Pelicans could have considered getting?
Darius Garland, Tyler Hero, Rui. All these people were like in that range.
Tyler Hero wasn't that high of a pick though.
No,
Darius Garland.
There's mocks of him going 5.
Darius Garland was probably the best choice there.
They didn't have a point guard at the time either.
Oh, they did just get Lonzo from the trade. So
yeah, but he was injured.
Oh yeah, they already kept it. No, at that point he wasn't injured yet. He will
he was in and out of injury still with the Lakers.
Yeah, but it wasn't bad. Not the injuries that we know now that ruined his life, but
take his whole knee apart.
But yeah, but to wrap up the podcast today, let's talk about something a little funny that happened in the league this week. Jimmy Butler has had one hell of a tenure as a Golden State Warrior so far. Before we get to the funny part of this, let's look at Jimmy Butler on a serious note and see how he's performed so far. Not a lot of games.
He shit himself.
Oh, God.
He shit himself.
All right, well.
That's the funny thing. He shot himself.
Before we get into that, in 3 games, Jimmy Butler has scored 20 or more points every single game. My
Look at his free throws, bro. Look at his free
Yo, I
throws.
just
Yeah,
watched that. I just
that's
watched it.
crazy.
That is disgusting.
Yeah, that is crazy. But
Damn,
His free throws are crazy.
that's all that fucking coffee.
yeah, phenomenal season for him so far. I mean, phenomenal tenure so far for him on the um, what you call it on the Warriors. I just drew a blank down. Trying to find my
Man,
thing is not calculating his numbers correctly. Let me find it again.
yeah,
But
he's
he's
actually been
averaging over
playing
20
pretty
points.
good.
He's averaging over 50%. But y'all go ahead while I do this.
He's every
Yeah,
22.
he's been
Oh, while you
killing
do
it, man.
this,
You
one
go
thing I
ahead.
want to say really quick. I also went to go see Unrivaled. Shout out Unrivaled. Very cool league.
How was that? I never even got to ask you about that.
It was the coolest thing I think I've ever seen. I was right next to Lisa Leslie almost.
That's
That's
awesome. Is
dope.
she huge?
I didn't get to see. She never got up. But like after the game, they did like a signing and everything. It was cool. If
Did
you
you get
guys ever
anything
want to
signed?
watch basketball, no, we wanted to get out because we had to go catch our train back. I'm telling
Uh,
you, Unrivaled. The tickets are cheap, $45 a game. You get amazing seats. It's fun. 2 games, very cool.
Yeah, I don't think I'll have the opportunity to go this season, but I definitely love to visit that in the future. Athletes Unlimited just recently started as well. Um,
It's very
Unrivaled
similar.
had their 1v1 tournament as well. So a lot of stuff happening in women's basketball. But um, I guess we breezed by that Jimmy Butler topic. But yes, he did shit
No, let's bring it
himself.
back. Let's come back.
He did shit
no, no, yeah,
himself,
yeah. I
ladies and
was gonna
gentlemen.
say, real quick,
Is that
Jimmy
real
Butler.
though?
Yeah,
Or is like actually like is that like real, or is that like a joke?
Is it real as in he shit himself, or is it like the color on the shorts? I have no clue if he shit himself. He's not gonna tell us.
Oh, okay.
But
I was wondering
in
if
my
like he
head,
came out
he
and
did.
said that. Okay, I get it. Okay,
It
go
took
ahead.
Paul
all
Pierce
right.
15 years. Paul Pierce took 15 years to admit that he did it. So
Oh
he's
God.
had to wait 15 years.
I want to say something real quick on a positive light. I think Jimmy Butler coming to this team really does change the dynamic of who's guarding Steph Curry, and I never knew how important that was until they have a really good wing scorer who can score the ball. And now Steph Curry is getting guarded by these point guards again, who are at his height, who can kill off the dribble. There's not a lot of point guards who are going to demand that one-on-one defense like those wings that they have in the Rockets, those wings at Minnesota who go guard Steph. Steph is always being guarded by players at 6'7", 6'8", who can guard, from the wing to the point guard. Probably the best defenders in the court are usually on Steph. Now that you have Jimmy Butler, you can't hide, a point guard on a small forward and things like that. So I think Steph Curry really is gonna. It to us it might not be a big move, but this is actually a huge move to unlock Steph
Bigger than I
again.
thought.
Yeah, to unlock Steph. Jimmy Butler is great, but this is more about unlocking Steph's all the way Steph. Get the whole cylinder running, and I think it's going to benefit the Warriors in the long run for sure.
Yeah, I
Steph's
agree
free
100.
throw
percent
average has already gone up. To give you an idea.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, I agree. I think a lot of people joke about the whole situation because everything that was happening with Jimmy Butler, rightfully so. I fully get it, but it is obvious and not debatable whatsoever that Jimmy Butler is a better player than Andrew Wiggins. Um,
yeah. By far.
Jimmy Butler is going to bring so much to the table that team needs with players who are struggling to show up and perform and consistently provide winning culture for that team. Adding Jimmy Butler to the whole Draymond Green experience is going to be good for them. Um,
I can't wait till that goes wrong. I can't
I,
wait.
I, I don't think it will, but I think it's going to go great. And then you have to also the rise of their a new center that they've been testing out. I think it's something Post. I forget his last name. I'm sorry, his first name. Quentin Post. Uh, I don't see him as getting too much of a responsibility on that team, but good choice to have when you add Jimmy Butler and you had Draymond Green. He stretches the floor. Since he's been starting, he's averaging 46% from three. As a center, by the way, 7-footer. So I think the Warriors have opportunity to make a little bit of noise and get themselves in a situation where they're a threat to win a playoff series, a threat to make it into the playoffs first, of course. I would never put my money on them over some other teams, but I think it's a very underrated trade. And I think the Warriors deserve a little credit for making that happen. Despite the Jimmy Butler fiasco, it was a good trade. It was a good move, and I do think this makes them better.
And they didn't have to give up too much because of the fiasco.
Exactly.
Yeah, for sure. I agree with you guys. They really gave up the pieces. They kept their young core. Pod. What's that other dude's name? I always forget his name. I can't really say it either.
They got Moody.
Kuminga?
No, not Moody. Kuminga. No, I'm playing. Kuminga. They kept Kuminga. They kept their core, the young core. So, I'm actually really happy about that. And they didn't really lose much that wasn't needed or that they needed to get rid of. I think Andrew Wiggins was a move that really needed to happen when it comes to, like, culture and what they need at small forward. So, yeah, I really, really didn't think it was going to work out like this stuff. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, I think it was a good trade.
So, to give you an idea, Steph Curry's free throw averages have already doubled since Jimmy Butler's been there.
Because point guards are guarding him now. It's no longer wings guarding
Well, what
him.
happens is Jimmy Butler gets him into the bonus really early now. So now every sort of foul on Steph Curry is a free throw. Because Jimmy Butler is a foul merchant. He's a free throw merchant. Just like Joel Embiid. And that's why he'll never be successful. I apologize.
Oh, God.
Oh, my God.
But yeah, I agree. I think this changes a lot. So shout out to the Warriors, and hopefully we can see Stephen Curry in a competitive playoff series thanks to Jimmy Butler. We need it.
Sure.
LeBron is certainly going to be in one based on how the Lakers have been performing. And we need to see as much of this as possible before it's their time to go. By the time LeBron turns, 48 years old, I think my daughter will be in high school by the time he retires, maybe. But we need as much of this as possible.
Your daughter's going to retire before LeBron. I guarantee it. Like, at this point, Do you remember that one tweet where that dude's like, LeBron's about to turn 30. This fuckery can't go on for much longer. He's 40. It's been a decade since he tweeted that, bro. It's been a decade.
And that's crazy. Has continued. That is for sure.
Yeah, there's no sign of it stopping.
Real quick, before we go, have you guys seen the Lee Fuck? The Lee Fuck 3?
The Le Fuck You 3?
The Le Fuck You 3?
The Le Fuck You 3?
My favorite.
So LeBron is crazy. LeBron legitimately has no bag. He does the most basic thing possible, but it's like you're so starstruck, like, oh my God, I'm guarding LeBron. Oops, he shot a 3. Bang.
That's his bag, bro.
That's his bag, yeah. He's playing mind games.
Is top
that's
3.
Crazy.
It's right up there. It's right up there when he used to roll the ball in his hand and then shoot it.
That's our generation's skyhook. Right there.
The Le Fuck You 3?
Yeah, what's worse, the Lee Fuck You 3, or was it the spin off the hand 3-point shot that he was?
That was really disrespectful, bro. I'm not gonna lie. That was one of the most disrespectful things I've ever seen. Like, at least the Le Fuck You 3 is like he consistently does that. He hates Ibaka. I don't know why he did that to him. That man spun the ball in his face.
Yeah, that was crazy. But that is all we got, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for tuning in. As always, let us know in the comment section if you're tapped in at this point in the podcast and show us that you're a true fan, a true supporter. If you haven't already and you're new to the channel, please make sure you subscribe. Make sure you hit that like, leave a comment, whatever you need to do to support. We appreciate it. We love it. Share with all your Hooper friends and family. We got a lot more going on. We're going to be a lot more active very soon. So join us for the ride. All right. That's all we got. HoopTalk the podcast. We're out. Deuces.